This past summer, I spent time in Vietnam, also where I was born and raised, and also my field site for my anthropology honors research project. I looked into HIV and AIDS in Vietnam. More specifically, I wanted to explore how HIV positive mothers in Vietnam engage with their disease status, and also how that impacts their social belonging, their interactions with other people in the community.
So my honors thesis research is on human-animal relations in Quechua households. The Quechua are an indigenous group in the Ecuadorian Amazon. What I'm looking at is the household site, the domestic space, as sort of a contact zone between species. My research speaks, or I want it to speak, to sort of two different conversations. One is this conversation about humans and animals, and what humans are, and what it means to be an animal, and how humans and animals sort of constitute each other. And then the other is a conversation about indigenous land management and biodiversity conservation, species conservation, how to understand that. And what I think I'm arguing, or at least part of it, is that in order to really understand indigenous environmental management, we can't just look at the jungle. We also need to look at the relationships and the practices and beliefs that are emerging out of the domestic space, out of the home, which is this place where so many different species can come into contact. In Quechua households, like where I lived this summer, there were dogs and chickens and pigs and turtles and things, but there was also an ocelot cub, there are birds, there are monkeys. So sort of looking at all those dynamics of those interactions and what that looks like in Quechua households.
So my research is based in Italy and in Naples in particular, where I work with tailors. These are menswear tailors who make high-end bespoke suits for their clients from all over the world. So I spent a lot of time with these craftsmen and artisans in their workshops, and showrooms, workshops, and boutiques, and also interviewing people who are involved in the industry, so journalists, people who are filmmakers, and writers about this phenomenon. It's a huge cultural institution in Naples. The focus of my research was looking at how their culture is changing in the face of modernization, in the face of globalization, and specifically looking at how they see themselves as embodying the Neapolitan culture, the Neapolitan identity. So looking at things like how history plays into what they're doing, how the idea of passion and the family and gender plays into how they understand their work, and how they understand themselves to be perpetuating this Neapolitan identity. That's been very central to my research.